Boston Jimmie here. I'm sitting with Robert Holt, owner of Southern Draw Cigars. 5 years running. 5 years running for me. We're celebrating some great anniversaries. You're one of many young companies that have persevered through all of this muck and mess we've had with the FDA and all of that, and you've persevered. So Robert, you've got a great line of cigars you've had over these years. You've got new stuff coming out this year. Once again, talk about some of your blends that you've got.
First of all, congrats on 5 years, my brother. Absolutely. Second of all, thank you very much, Stogie Press, for supporting the little brands, not just Southern Draw, but all the little brands. When we struggle for a little bit of media attention, we want to share our wares and our stories and our messages. It's not just about cigars. It's about the messages and the stories. And I tell you what, you guys have done a phenomenal job sharing that with folks. But as mentioned, it's a 5-year anniversary. And with 5 years, this is how we started out. The cigar you're smoking. That is the Kudzu Lustrum. It sports a beautiful Nicaraguan grown Media Tiempo Habano wrapper. Is that a mouthful?
That is a mouthful.
I tell you what,
is the smoke.
You should Google it because it's a very expensive, it's a tough to get, especially for a little gringo family-owned brand like ours. But I tell you what, it's a beautiful cigar. Still got that Ometepe in there, that nice oaky char, bourbon barrel aroma. Again, we were only able to produce 25,000 of those for this anniversary here at IPCPR 2019. So I'm proud you're getting to share it with us. Keeping the price point down, we came out with this beautiful little Mazo, a dress Mazo. The artwork depicts, it's our little version of a southern weather vane, if you will, but it sports our 101st Airborne Battalion coin. It also sports our Fort Gordon U.S. Signal Corps coin, and a little bit about the kudzu history. So that little cigar started in the South, and much like that weed of kudzu, it's kind of grown up, and we've shipped that to over 1,000 retailers in the world.
1,000 retailers.
Over 1,000 retailers have received the kudzu blend.
It is 5 years, 1,000 retailers.
It's been good. We've been blessed. Again, you and I are here behind the camera, but the entire family is busy in the booth. You know, everybody's got a role of responsibility. I just happen to be the one that gets to carry the torch, meaning I get to smoke more cigars than they do, right?
Absolutely.
But you know, it's been a good few years, right? But it's only going to get better. We've had 5 years to plan for this year's releases at the trade show, and we fired off yesterday morning with that lustrum, and then we backed it up with this beauty. This is the Desert Rose. So a little change to the original iconic pink band known as the Rose of Sharon, in honor of the boss lady herself. But I tell you what, this is a different experience than smoking Jimmie. This is an Ecuadorian cloud-grown Claro. It's heavier, it's heartier, it's still smooth, it's still creamy. Big, heavy Nicaraguan Habano binder under there. But we've always had a little 25% Piloto Habano Ligero. This version also has Corojo 99 Ligero. So it's a double Ligero. It's more of a medium body now. Still got a lot of dense smoke. It's still got the creaminess. It's you know, synonymous with the brand. But I think what's going to happen here is this cigar is going to be in full production from now on. We're going to release 75,000 of them following the trade show in the 10-count Mazos. Again, the hand-drawn art. Our good friend Jonathan Gollins in Phoenix took my, I'm terrible, I can't draw a stick man, but he got my concept and put it right there in a beautiful little package. This keeps the price down, lets people enjoy the 10-count Mazo, a little celebration. And if you support it and you buy it, we'll leave this thing in production for years to come, and you'll find it in boxes and bundles.
Hopefully that'll happen.
We pray it will, but if not, hey, we'll move on. We had a momentous occasion this morning. You guys were here to capture it live. Ethan Jacob, the Jacobs Ladder, was here for the first time at IPCPR. If you don't know who he is the namesake of this Jacobs Ladder. This is the 2019 IPCPR release. This is the Jacobs Ladder Hell, Fire and Brimstone, aptly named for the 3 Ligeros in this cigar. Yes, we took it down to Brimstone because the rest of the words wouldn't fit on the band. But this is a Lancaster, Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper. It is a Connecticut broadleaf binder, and it's 2 Nicaraguan, Esteli and Condega, very unique flavor profiles. And of course, we added kind of a classic Piloto Cubano Dominican Ligero, but it's 100% broadleaf and Ligero. 6x56, we already talked about that, but we think this is another cigar that we'll keep and make in perpetuity, and we think we have the raw materials to support that for at least 150, 200,000 cigars a year. So we're excited. We were excited for him to be here, but we're excited to smoke this after we have him in. All right. It doesn't end there.
Oh,
doesn't end there. We haven't announced it. This is kind of a first exclusive. We've sent out a press release on this, but today will be the first time anyone has ever smoked the Cigars in a format other than last year's Bellicoso Fino, known as the Hogan, in that 10-count box. But as of July, we're shipping the Cigars, the Bazuki Sumatra, that nice savory medium floral cigar that we released last year. It's now available in Robusto, Toro, and Guaro in the 20-count boxes and bottles. It's a new core line. It joins the Rose, the Firethorn, the Kudzu, and the Jacob. So this is the 5th core line for Southern Draw cigars.
Does it end there?
But wait, there's more.
There's more. Holy cow.
Again, an early look. We haven't done anything but the press release on this cigar, but we also wanted to grow our charity line, which is the 300 Hands, the Trescientos Manos. Last year we came firing out with the nice medium body Habano, nice full body San Andreas Maduro, and those 5 classic Cuban sizes in that nice little 10, 12-inch display. We've been able to generate tremendous charity, and again, between the media, the retailers, and the consumers, every time we sell one of those cigars, we're turning 1 penny into 4. That's how the math works. Everybody's pitching in to do some good down in Nicaragua, and he said, hey, what are we missing? What we're missing is a beautiful, well-priced, value-priced Connecticut, and don't let the price tag of about $6 fool you. I'm introducing to you the 300 Hands Connecticut. It's also available in all 5 sizes. This is a Connecticut USA. Think about the quality. It is a Peruvian binder, and then we're back to the classic Rojo 99, Criollo 98, within the regions, the 3 major growing regions in Nicaragua. But again, this one today will be the first time anyone smoked this cigar, and I'll tell you, I think it's going to do well for you.
So let me ask you a question on 300 Hands, 300 Manos. On this project, you're helping the people in Nicaragua. Can you give us some examples of recent assists that you've provided?
Absolutely, and first of all, we're helping them help themselves because they donate a portion of their salaries to the charity as well. It's not a 501c3 in this sense. It's a cooperation, and it's between the members of the 300 Hands, which are 300 people over the years. If we survive, we're going to tell all of their stories. All 300 of them have needs in their communities. They donate money, and of course we donate money again with our retailers and consumers. First of all, we've been able to provide some surgeries for younger generation. These are 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds that have really had challenges since birth that haven't been cared for. One of them I used as a reference. The original charity work we did was the young man had some tumors on his vocal cords, had never spoken a word, and through the surgery that the foundation was able to support, healthy kid now in school doing his thing. Amazing. We had a gentleman that had worked his entire lives, not just in the tobacco industry, but in the fields of Nicaragua, had fractured a couple of vertebrae, and he needed a fusion, and it's an elective surgery. We were able to finance that, and he not only sent his story and his thanks back to the company, but he said, share the x-rays. I want people to realize I'm not just a spokesmodel. I can walk now, I can be functional, I can provide for my family, and it's a great story. We've got one where we have a buncher down Guadalupe. He says, listen, we want more of our kids to join us on Sunday for church, and he said, the problem is we need food, we need snacks. And I said, listen, whatever you decide that we need to do in your community that impacts it the most, that's what we're going to do. So it's as simple as that. Having juice, having healthy fruits and snacks, it makes the kids come all together into a community and spend Sunday together, and it's turning out really well. But healthcare, housing, education, school uniforms, shoes, rice, beans, whatever it is. At the end of the day, they decide what's most necessary in their community, and they get to walk proudly down the road knowing they did something in their community, and we just get to be part of it.
That's beautiful. So let me change the table a little bit. So we're now at the PCA, which is the Premium Cigar Association, rebranded. And part of that rebranding announcement the other day is they're going to have in 2020 to be a massive consumer event tied to a trade show. It'll be on the first day. The retailers are going to be bringing in consumers who can buy the tickets through your retailer. It's going to be a much bigger event for that one day, 6 hours. What are you planning next year to address that and work to bring consumers to your booth? Which you've already got retailers loaded here. So.
Well, we haven't had a chance to digest. It's only been about 36 hours since they talked about it. But I tell you, if there is a balance between a retail show and a consumer show, where the retailers aren't risking their livelihood, that we as brands and manufacturers aren't risking our time and attention. We're the people business. Consumers are people too. Retailers are people. But we all have a job to do, and we all need to take care of each other. So I'll tell you what, there's a lot of shops out there that rely on their top customers, their board of advisors, if you will, and tell them really this is what we're going to support. So having their feedback and their input on something, put it on the table. Let's share it with them, because I tell you what'll happen is that 3 or 4 days after that, it's in their ear, and the customer's already told them we're going to buy it, we're going to support it. And I say, listen, if we can execute this thing and everybody plays fair within the rules, I think it's going to turn out well. That's just my early thoughts.
Good. So 5 years, go back to your 5-year mark. What was your biggest challenge that you had to overcome to get 5 years to persevere in this tough business that we're in with all these regulations and so forth?
Well, I don't think the regulations were our biggest challenge, because we were naive at that point, right? And I go back to some earlier discussions I had about the dimming regulations with the FDA. The reality of it is, because our first contract was with the U.S. government, military facilities, we had an insight into dimming regs before the industry panicked about it. So we had to qualify to go to do business with certain government contractors, which required us to provide all that information, register all of our SKUs, provide all the dimensions, all the weights, all the GS1, barcodes. We had to do a lot of that. Disclose our tobaccos, our blends, and we did it. Not that we shared it all, but we put it and we locked it into a spreadsheet that allowed us later on to go, you already have the information. So we weren't panicked about that. We're trying to comply. We think we're doing the best we can based on our interpretation. But our biggest challenge is we're coming out. It's just out, right? It's just a product. Could you imagine if your wife made the best birthday cake, and when you tell the neighbors and then you tell your friends, now all of a sudden she's making 5 birthday cakes a month, now it's 10, now it's 20. Cigars are the same way. We're going to make the best we can with what we have. We rely on word of mouth. We rely on the grace of our media partners, because you guys have done it. You've stuck with us. And our challenge was, how do we get the message out there and make sure the message is just as important as the cigars? And the only way you can do that is make a good cigar. So that was our biggest challenge, to stay true to what we are, which is consistency, sustainability, and together we just want to do good. We want everybody that buys and sells and shares our cigars to do some good. And it sounds, almost cliche, but it's not, because it's a family. Everybody here is family. We all have our struggles. This is the one thing that puts us all together, that allows us to tolerate one another, and we learn from that. But I tell you, the challenges were really what you guys have stepped up and taken care of for us, which is get the message out.
So, Robert Holt, Southern Draw Cigars.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. Pleasure always.